and chili McCormick. There you go.
Folks, we're going to get ready to get started here today. If you'd like to come outside and join us, we're going to get our Laurel Park Neighborhood Association meeting off and running. Please join us outside, and we'll look forward to getting things rolling. Thank you. All right, thanks everybody for showing up. We're excited to have everybody here for our 2026 Laurel Park Neighborhood Association meeting. I think today we can all agree, for those that have been here in the past, that we finally have a PA system that y'all can hear me. Everybody can hear me? Thank you to Ron, our strategic board member and IT expert. So we've got a good agenda here for you tonight, and out of respect for everybody's time, we do try and keep this to an hour. But I think with what we've got to present and update to you, that you'll be very pleased to just kind of get caught up with everything that either is going on, planned going on, or has been going on in our lovely community here. First thing that we would like to do is have one of our board members, Ron, give us an introduction from our city with respect to the work that we probably all have seen has started and will be ongoing on Oak Street. So without any further ado, our board member, Ron Cashin.
Yep, thank you. So, I'm going to give a quick background of what we know about the Oak Street resurfacing project, and then I'm going to have Alvy Marie, who's the head of the department responsible for all of this, answer questions for about 5 minutes. And then after that, if anyone else has questions, we have Alvy's contact, and certainly she's always around and available, and we can continue on. But first off, so Oak Street, as you know, is finally being resurfaced, but it's more than that. It's not just replacing the asphalt. They're replacing all the curbs, they're digging up all the bricks, they're actually getting down to the foundation of that. They're going to rebuild the foundation, they're going to regrade the entire street. And we're talking everything from 301 all the way down to Orange. And it's of course going to come in phases. And this is going to continue on certainly through the end of May. And where it's going to work is they're clearly beginning on the east side. So they've begun on the north lane on the east side of Oak, so right around where 301 is. And they're going to go block by block on a single lane, taking it apart and putting in some basic road surfaces that you can continue on with. The curbing, all the curbing's gone because they're going to regrade the entire road. This is a big project, and that will help enormously with the flooding. Anyone that has property on Oak Street, so you know the right-of-way where you've been doing planting, just consider probably that first foot from where the curb is onto the right-of-way will probably be dug up. They're going to, pour curbs, redo the drains, put back the curbs, and then refill in the lanes. They're not going to put back your plants. So any plants right there, you may want to consider moving. We don't know exactly the time frame because they have to first dig up a couple of these sections before they can get a more accurate time frame of what it's going to take. But a really rough guesstimate is around 2 weeks per block, per lane. So if you can just think of Oak Street, we're first going to go from Oak Street to Osford. They're going to take care of that entire project, that entire roadway, before they move to the other side of Osford. So that's really...
Nothing else she has to say.
Yeah. Did I get anything wrong?
You got it correct. So, Alvy Marie Crowley, I'm the Capital Projects Manager. So what we're going to do is from 301 to Osprey, north side first. And that is going to take about 2 to 3 weeks, right? And then we're going to move to the south side. And again, that's going to be 2 or 3 weeks. And then we move between Osprey and Orange, north and then south. So that's how we're going to divide up the project. I do have a list of a couple of driveways that will be impacted because we need to regrade and change those so that way your roadway actually drains properly, right? So one of the reasons why we're changing those curbs is for drainage purposes too, so that the water flows properly. And then some of these driveways have to be replaced. So I have a list of those driveways, and I'll give these addresses to Ron. So Ron is your point of contact, just letting you know. He's your go-to guy. He will be your point of contact, and then he will contact me if anything happens on Oak Street. And then we have our inspector, Steve Owen. He's like a pit bull. He's always there. He works with the contractors very closely. So if you see Steve walking around, usually with a little smug face and his cowboy hat, You will see you'll see what I mean. So the addresses are, we're gonna replace driveway and sidewalk panel on 1858 Oak Street. Sidewalk panel adjacent to the mailbox to transition to a curb, 1922 Oak Street. Everything is Oak Street, so keep that in mind. Replace both driveways at 1914 Oak, and replace one driveway at 1911 Oak. So if any of those are your addresses, keep that in mind. Driveway access will be blocked for a couple of days because the concrete needs to settle. So it's going to be about 5 days at a minimum.
Oh, so a couple of things. The city has been incredible with this project, and just to give you some ideas of what they're doing for Laurel Park, and all what I'm about to say is incredibly unusual. One, when they take up the bricks, if they find bricks that don't have asphalt on them, that are actually usable bricks, they're going to stack them, and they're going to be available for the community for a very limited amount of time. But the city's going to let us know when they are available, and you can come and take historic bricks, which are just incredible. The second thing that the city is doing is they're tinting all the concrete. So we're not getting bright white concrete, we're getting kind of an off-white
A
concrete.
stamp, yeah, a stamp.
Right. And finally, on the crosswalks, not across Oak, but all the side streets on Oak, we're actually getting decorative crosswalks, which is really an incredible thing. Finally, not just me, the entire board is working with Alvy's team. When there is closures, because there'll probably be, the city's going to try and avoid any closures whatsoever. You know, they keep on telling me there's going to be no closures. But if there are, we're going to try and give you ample time so you can just prepare. So, you know, once you have knowledge, everything goes smoothly.
And we will do it block by block, so, you know, keep that in mind, and we will let you know. There would be some available access, because we're gonna have a team there that's going to flag things and let you know whether you can come in or not, okay?
Elvie, do I remember correctly when we met with you, there was discussion about the attempt would be to wrap up closure work each day, if possible.
Right.
So in other words, if it's going to be construction during the day, just know that if your area is affected, the goal will be to still allow some traffic after hours. So, but I think we've got a great partner in our community, and we're very pleased to have you here. So thank you so much. Any questions?
What are decorative crosswalks? What does decorative crosswalks mean? What does decorative crosswalks mean?
So because we're replacing the bricks, what we're doing is the stamped concrete, so they're going to have stamped brick. Have you seen how the speed tables look, that they have the stamp? Those are not real bricks, those are stamped bricks.
And how are you going to let us know about the bricks?
Oh,
I will
probably
email
via
Ron.
email.
And
Yeah,
Ron
through
will
the same
distribute.
link.
I have a question. So I live on Oak Street. Could you explain a little bit about the grading that you're talking about? And why I'm bringing this up is because we flood.
When you look at Orange to Osprey, there are great, whatever you want to call them, drains. At Orange, there are no drains till you get next to our house where the canal or that little Hudson Bayou is. All the water from all of the houses and all of the streets comes into that area and floods. We had 3 floods, Debbie, Helene, and Milton. I'm talking fish in my driveway. I'm talking, 3 feet up. I'm not talking a little bit of water. I'm talking a lot. So how is your regrading if you're not putting more drains? Because again, I understand what grading is, but all of that water is still going to have to come from Orange down to that waterway. And again, from 301 to Osprey has limited drainage.
So there is no additional drainage being put in. We we faced 100-year storms, like something that we've never seen before, three storm events. So what we're doing is your curb will get adjusted so that way the water flows to the appropriate inlets. And that is through this resurfacing project, because this is just resurfacing, right? We're not, the stormwater and everything is through another program, another process, and the resurfacing project only covers what we're doing right now.
When you have that vast amount of water, with no place for it to go, because there's no drainage off the street, from Orange all the way down, where's it gonna go? No matter if you regrade or do your edging, it's still that same amount of water going to that same space, which means
Right, so again, I think the focus here is two different subjects, and I totally understand because I'm a homeowner on Ohio Place. So not only does it come down Oak, then it comes on down past our house. And so two different subjects here, right? One is the resurfacing, but the other one is the storm drain, and having those. So that's not That
is not part of the project, but that's.
spending money to do this project. If they decide to do something later on, you're tearing everything up. I mean, the left hand doesn't seem to be talking, and we've been in front of the city since those storms multiple times.
One thing you need to understand is that stormwater is handled by Sarasota County.
I do know.
And what we can do is, that's really out of our hands in terms of that. But what I can do is, I'll give the contact to our stormwater, our environmental engineer who has been working with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll circle back with the stormwater engineer, Andrew, just to see how does this regrading improve, and is it still, because we know your corner has been marked by the county as a stormwater problem. So the county does know about it. It's one of the highlights that they have to go back and work. But separately, we'll talk and find out from Andrew, separate division related to engineering, about the stormwater drainage there.
Oak Street is a through street pretty much, and it's going to be even more of a through street because they're building all the condominiums along 301. So there's going to be more traffic. There's going to be more traffic coming down Oak Street, we would imagine. And the issue is the placement of the speed bumps, because right now there's about 50 yards from 301, and there's a whole stretch of street that's not covered, and it's essentially people slow down there and then they speed up all the way down to wherever they're going. So the question is, are you going to be rethinking how you place speed bumps along Oak Street?
So we can take a look at that. Our chief transportation planner is right here with us too. And we are working on the traffic calming plan, which you are, which area? Area B?
We're area A.
A,
So
okay.
In the email that you got, in the email that you got for this meeting, Alvi and Corinne, they have a traffic calming plan for the entire city that they've divided up into areas. And so they're gonna be talking about changes to the speed limit, as well as some other traffic calming items in 3 separate seminars. If you take a look at that email, I'll resend it out. You can learn more about this citywide project.
Correct. And we have these neighborhood meetings happening, so that way you can attend, provide feedback. We have a couple of solutions for your neighborhood as well. So that is your opportunity to provide feedback, and they're all in March, this month. Ron will send you additional information. I will get with our engineers to see if the placement is for the speed tables right now, if they're in the correct place, and also we will review the traffic calming plan because we have other proposed solutions.
So your LPNA board members will, all the members here, we will be posting that not only on our site, but also send out reminder emails to everybody. Again, another really important reason why when we had you sign in today, to make sure that we've got your contact information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alvin, Maria, thank you so much. Everybody, thanks for having me there.
All right,
So next we're going to go ahead and actually have a unique opportunity with the City County Commissioners. We have 4 of the candidates here that are going to be able to at least speak to us for a couple of minutes. We're going to give each candidate a couple of minutes each, just so that we can put a name with the face and we can identify these folks that are trying to do a big difference in our community. So I'm very excited to have them as part of our agenda. And I would like to start by introducing Flo Entler. Flo? You have a dog cheering system.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having us. My name is Flo Entler. I was born in the Bronx. We moved to Long Island when I was 5 years old, where I was raised. And I went to college upstate New York, SUNY Cortland, where I earned my bachelor's degree in speech pathology and audiology. At the age of 25, I moved to Sarasota, and I've lived in our beautiful city for 37 years. I proudly dedicated countless hours to my neighborhood and our community. I'm the president of the Arlington Park neighborhood, and I recently had to resign as the second vice president of the Coalition of City Neighborhood Associations because I'm running. For nearly a decade, I've been showing up at City Hall, speaking on local issues such as flooding, traffic, noise, construction, affordability, safety, and parks, the everyday issues that affect our quality of life. I'm passionate about parks and trees. I chaired CCNA's Protect Our Parks Committee, and I've spoken about many parks at City Hall. One of them was I helped support you guys with the orchestra at a Payne Park. I also spoke about against the proposed amusement park they want to put in Ken Thompson Park. And I spoke in favor of the conservation easement at Bobby Jones Park, Nature Park. I recently saved a 230-year-old grand oak tree from a developer's axe in my neighborhood with the help of city staff, neighbors, and Commissioner Jen was on that journey with us. The tree we nicknamed Pink Floyd still stands tall. Pink Floyd because it lives on Floyd Street and had the thread of the pink ribbon. I tell that story because that experience showed me that when we work together, we can keep what matters even as we grow. I'm a triathlete and a distance runner, so my campaign's based on running a lap. Livability, accountability, and public good. Livability meaning asking every single time, does this make our neighborhoods safer, greener, more walkable, more affordable? Accountability for no rubber stamp.